Let's talk about devolution further. And corruption has been devolved to counties despite the great expectations that it will bring the government closer to the people, increasing transparency and accountability. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is investigating almost 30 former and current governors for swindling, or allegedly swindling, county coffers through patronage systems that revolve around family, friends, and local elites. Our senior political affairs reporter, Patrick Amimo, paints for us the picture of how corruption has wormed its way into the 47 counties. And that's where we leave it tonight on News Hour. Thank you so much for watching. Meresha Owiti was with me earlier on behalf of the team. We leave you with Patrick Amimo's story.
It would appear county governments have become hotspots for corruption. A number of governors and county officials have been implicated in corruption cases since 2013, after the 2010 constitution entrenched the concept of devolved governments. Their nefarious activities range from bribery, nepotism, and patronage to embezzlement and mismanagement of public resources.
We started county governments without sufficient structures. Some laws were in place, but governmental infrastructure of running government was not there. And the people who came on board as new governors, a good number of them had no experience in running government. So it's like trial and error. And in the process, a lot of money was...
As at May 2021, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, was investigating former Nairobi Governor Evans Kidero over accumulation of wealth valued at 8 billion shillings invested in property, shares, and cash in bank accounts. Kidero was charged in 2018 alongside former head of Treasury Maurice Ochieng, Lilian Wanjiru, Jimmy Kiamba, Gregory Mwakanongo, Stephen Osiro, Luke Gatimu, John Jogu, and Grace Gidua. They were accused of conspiring to commit an offense of corruption between January 16, 2014 and January 25, 2016, leading to the loss of 213 million shillings from Nairobi County. They deny the charges. Immediate former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko is under probe on how he acquired 1 billion shillings wealth held in bank accounts. In 2019, Sonko was arrested for allegedly gaining 360 million shillings through illegal procurement and payment schemes. Sonko is accused of regularly awarding tenders to his close aides, forging documents, and misappropriating county funds. In 2019, the EACC radar focused on former Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu on how he acquired 2 billion shillings. EACC opened investigations regarding allegations of irregular award of tenders worth 580 million shillings to companies associated with the governor and his immediate family members. The EACC detectives produced evidence which showed that kickbacks were paid to the governor through his bank accounts for award of tenders by the county government. In September 2020, the Director of Public Prosecutions ordered the prosecution of Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki and other county officials over 34.9 shillings million tender awarded irregularly. The tender was for the supply, installation, and commissioning of a solid waste incinerator. The DPP said the incinerator was imported at 3.8 million shillings and an audit trail of the money paid to Westermarks, a company associated with the governor. Njuki was later freed on 6 million shillings cash bail after spending 2 days in custody. Samburu Governor Moses Kulal is facing probe over a 2 billion shillings corruption scandal at the county. According to EACC, over 1 billion shillings was lost through awarding of irregular contracts to contractors for work partly or never done, as top county officers received kickbacks in return. EACC wants Kulal to explain how he acquired 500 million shillings wealth held in property and cash in local banks. Among Leonard Kulal's prime properties on EACC radar includes his palatial home in Karen, said to be sitting on a 1-acre piece of land that was acquired in the financial year 2016-2017, valued at 300 million shillings, and residence in Milimani, Maralal town, valued at 100 million shillings. The governor also owns commercial residential apartments in Maralal town, valued at 20 million shillings, which EACC says was acquired in 2017. And the Red Rock Resort along Maralal Kisima Road, built on a 5-acre piece of land. The resort has 20 cottages valued at 70 million shillings. Other properties include Oryx Filling Station and Complex in Maralal town, valued at 90 million shillings. According to the EACC detectives report, Oryx Petrol Station was paid 73.9 million shillings by the county government. The looting spree in Samburu saw 637.2 million shillings paid to companies owed by county staffs between July 2014 and July 2018.
I also think that some of the governors are collectors for the corrupt deals that appear to be developing in this country. And even after the governors have been accused of various evils, you know, the president and his government have almost nothing to say about them. And we have seen some of them protected, you know, and even assisted to rise even higher.
In January 2021, the ACC was granted a court order to freeze assets associated with Murang'a Governor Mwangi Wairia. According to EACC, Wairia had influenced the award of a tender worth 550 million shillings to Top Image Media Consultants Limited, which is allegedly owned by the governor's relatives and associates. The company then transferred the money to the governor, who used it to buy 2 properties. In 2014, then Kisumu Governor Jack Ranguma was accused of spending 22 million shillings on hotel accommodations while his official residence was under renovation. After being in the hotel for months, Ranguma was moved into a new house in Kisumu, whose monthly rent was 250,000 shillings. A car was also hired for Ranguma at 25,000 shillings daily. That same year in Bungoma County, procurement officers purchased a set of 10 wheelbarrows at a cost of 1.09 million shillings. This meant each wheelbarrow cost 109,000 shillings. Residents were in uproar. Then Governor Kenneth Lusaka defended the purchase, saying, and I quote, "These are not the ordinary wheelbarrows that we know. These are wheelbarrows that are made of stainless, non-carcinogenic material that are also insoluble and are used in food industry." End of quote.
Majority of the people that moved from, or moved to the seats of governors and the appointees of governors into the executive of the counties were actually the same people that were serving the very high corrupt characters in this country. Unfortunately, some of them were personal assistants to ministers and very senior government officials.
In 2020, Migori Governor Okoth Obado and his 4 children faced corruption charges amounting to 73.4 million shillings. According to the Director of Public Prosecutions, the governor's children directly benefited from public funds paid to companies that traded with the county government of Migori during his first term in office. The EACC audit trail traced that 8.9 million shillings wired in the respective bank accounts of Obado's children by individuals who investigators termed as proxies for the besieged governor. The money was used to pay for their school fees, upkeep, maintenance, and medical bills while in Australia and the United Kingdom. Another 34.5 million shillings was used to buy a house in Nairobi that was registered in the name of one of the daughters.
When we talk about corruption, they laugh it. They just laugh at it. What is it? What is this corruption about? You can go to the county, about 45% of all the monies that is brought to the county, whether from the central government or collected as taxes, ends in people's pockets. When you come to this nation, and you are talking of the billions that is collected or given as bilateral or unilateral loans, end up in people's offshore accounts.
And the Senate has not been able also to help citizens, because governors some have been impeached, others have been acquitted for either lack of evidence or lack of proper, effective dealing with those kinds of cases that citizens submit to the Senate.
In 2020, the governor of Busia County, Sospito Jamong, and other officials faced charges of conspiracy to defraud the government and abuse of office. It was alleged that the governor and officials conspired to defraud the county government of 8 million shillings by concluding an agreement for a feasibility study on solid waste management with a company that had not been established yet. The criminal case has not been finalized. The Auditor General's reports have revealed that most counties have failed to comply with government financial regulations and procedures. Some have entered into commitments without approved budgets or funds, huge pending bills whose accuracy and validity cannot be verified, a lack of proper documentation, payments to dubious contractors, inflation of prices of goods and services, misappropriation of resources, and the irregular award of tenders.
When you, for instance, ask some of these questions, you become targeted. So, for instance, some very weird and wicked county officials will send thugs and goons to come and harass you, beat you up, and even threaten you.
So if you ask the average person, anybody in the county, what is going on, they don't know. Even this civil society moves made to kind of fire the people to ask questions. Even when they call a meeting somewhere in the location, nobody turns up.
In September 2018, the Director of Public Prosecution recommended prosecution of Siaya Governor Cornel Rasanga for using taxpayers' money to buy holiday tickets for his family and friends. The EACC quarterly report said investigations had established that the county government, on instructions of the governor, paid for the air tickets for his family and friends during the first 3 years of his first term in office. According to the Auditor General report, the county spent 141 million shillings irregularly, contrary to the Public Finance Management Act and other regulations.
Even county governments have not invested in spaces that then will be able to build the capacity of citizens to hold the county government's officials accountable so that we deal with aspects of corruption.
Last year, the COVID-19 pandemic provided another eating opportunity in counties. The EACC is investigating several counties for the alleged embezzlement of funds allocated to counter the coronavirus pandemic. A special report by the Auditor General revealed irregularities by county governments in the use of COVID-19 funds. These irregularities included non-adherence to procurement procedures, misappropriation of funds, inadequate record keeping on procured goods by county governments, and inconsistencies between quantity supplied by the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority (KEMSA) and those received by counties. Patrick Amimo, KTN News.